So a very good evening, everyone, and welcome to Vidhigya Presents LAWgical Youth, Voice Your Opinion. So today being 70th Republic Day, I have few lines for everyone. आज सलाम है उन वीरों को जिनके कारण ये दिन आता है। वो माँ भी खुश नसीब होती है, बलिदान जिसके बच्चों का देश के काम आता है। कुछ नशा तिरंगे की आन का है, कुछ नशा मातृभूमि की शान का है। हम लहराएंगे हर जगह ये तिरंगा, नशा हिंदुस्तान की शान का है। चलो फिर से खुद को जगाते हैं, अनुशासन का डंडा फिर से घुमाते हैं। सुनहरा रंग है गणतंत्र का शहीदों के लहू से, ऐसे शहीदों को हम सर झुकाते हैं। जय हिंद, जय भारत, एंड wish you all a very happy Republic Day. So, to introduce you all to Vidhigya envisioned to create juggernauts of legal world who are morally equipped to take So there was some disturbance with the voice. So I was telling you all about Vidhigya. Vidhigya envisioned to create the juggernauts of legal world who are morally equipped to take on the daunting challenges of law, life, and leadership. Vidhigya means one who's expert in the field of law. Being true to the name and our vision, we have consistently given stellar results in exams like CLAT and judicial services. So we have started with this LAWgical youth competition, and we are delighted to receive participation of youth of India on contemporary issues, where we need to be local, where we need to have solutions instead of just talking on the problems. So there are 13 finalists who with their creativity, ideas, and presentation were able to make it till here. And today we have 5 judges who will be judging this competition. So the two topics were given to the finalists on which they'll be presenting their speech, and they'll be given 5 minutes for in this competition. Every participant will be giving a speech on these topics for maximum 5 minutes of duration. The topics are the data age, should social media kiosks self-regulate, or should the state step in? And right to privacy versus right to health, the AAROGYA Setu, the COVID dilemma. So our first jury for the day is Ms. Kala Mohan, and I think doesn't need an introduction, but Ms. Kala Mohan is an educational psychologist, special educator, international NLP practitioner, master trainer, life coach. She has also received awards like Bharat Shiksha Ratna Award, Guru Dronacharya Samman, Sandipani Guruji Samman, Best Our next jury for the day is Ms. Inderpal Kaur. Ma'am is a principal in school, the Sanskriti School, Ashok Nagar. And she's dedicated, resourceful, goal-driven individual with a solid commitment to social and academic growth and development of every child. As a principal, she is an accommodating and versatile individual with the talent to train and develop the teachers for preparing and inspiring hands-on lessons that will capture a child's imagination and breed success. She is highly motivated, enthusiastic, and dedicated educator who wants all children to learn. During pandemic also, she didn't stop her services to school and society. She is a recipient of Progressive Principal Award 2017, Acharya Chananchya Award by Fun to Learn Society, Edu Warrior Award during pandemic. So we welcome you, ma'am, and if you can have, I can have few words from you.
Very good evening to all of you, and Honorable Kala ma'am is there, so I think I won't be able to speak much because under her shadow only I am actually growing. And first and foremost, happy Republic Day to all of you, and all the best to all the speakers of the day. Please do not hesitate to unfurl your talent of speaking in any ways. Be confident. All the best. Stay shine. Thank you so much, Khushbu.
Support the mama, support the nation.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I would request Kala ma'am if she can say few words for us. Okay, so I think there's some technical problem at my ma'am's end. And coming to our next judge for the day, the jury, Mrs. Simi Narad. She is Vice Principal of Colonel's Academy, Mahu. Ma'am is equipped with a rich experience in the field of education, and she is in this field since 25 years. From the year 2012, she has been an administrator and vice principal in the prestigious senior secondary school, that is Colonel's Academy, Mahu. As a passionate educationist, she focuses only not on academics, but all-round development of a child. She is a team builder and enjoys working with all the components of school community, that is staff, students, and parents. She's a firm believer of learning for life and is a passionate environmentalist who takes up the cause with zeal and leads students in school to achieve their goals of being not only a successful individual, but a good human being as well. So we welcome you, ma'am, and if we can have few words from you.
Would like to congratulate Vidhigya for organizing such a wonderful, well-planned online speech competition. I'm sure all the children participants are looking forward, and in fact, we all are also looking forward to listen to their voices and their opinions. So all the very best to all the participants from my end. Thank you so much.
So our next jury is Ms. Shell Agrawal. She is educator of English language and presently she is a teacher at NDPS Indore. Ma'am has done her schooling from Sindhya School, Gwalior, and did her college from Delhi University. She's in this profession from 1990, and she's an orator since her college life. She has judged various elocution competition, and she loves to take challenges head on and present herself by logic and reasoning. And we welcome you, ma'am, on this dais. If we can have few words from you.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Happy Republic Day to all of you. And thank you for introductions, Khushbu. It's a pleasure and honor to be on this platform. I'm just looking forward to listen to the young voice as the our theme says, logical youth, voice your opinion. I would love to and looking forward to best of luck to all of you, and may the best one win. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much to all the judges. And thank you for taking time out on this day and being here to give your valuable inputs on this competition. So starting with our competition, so we have 13 finalists. So the first finalist for the day will be Rashika Agrawal. Rashika is from Indore. And I would like Rashika to unmute yourself and please put on your video and please come on the dais. You'll be having 5 minutes of time. Rashika, are you there? We can have your video on, Rashika. Rashika, you're not visible. Please say something. Rashika, your voice is not audible. Rashika, there's some technical problem at your end. You're not audible. You can have your video off and then try and speak. Okay, then we have till the time Rashika joins and have her technical problem resolved, Riddhi Nair. Riddhi, if we can have your audio and video on. So Riddhi is from Advanced Academy Indore. She has completed her schooling and Riddhi, yes, Riddhi, you're audible. Please.
Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, you're audible and visible both. Please.
Okay.
So you have 5 minutes of time from now. Please, the dice is all yours and just tell the topic on which you are going to present.
Okay. Ma'am, may I start?
Yes.
This is what my mother told me today morning while I was scrolling through Instagram and watching a video how consuming alcohol can immunize you from coronavirus. Obviously, that's a fake news. That is why probably my mom lets me buy an Android phone. A recent study in India today shows that 44.6% people are unaware of the fact that the messages they forward hold on some value or if it is fake. The recent mob violence in New Delhi, when more than 300 people were injured, was instigated through a WhatsApp message. But the question here is, should social media regulate itself, or is it high time that the government must step in? Good evening to all the dignitaries. I'm Vidhigya Nair, an 18-year-old law aspirant from Advanced Academy, and the topic of my speech is the data age. Should social media giants self-regulate, or is it high time that the government must step in? Before going further, a very basic question comes to our mind. Why is this regulation even required? Amid the growing concern of lack of transparency, accountability, and the rights of users in digital media, a safe and a secure system is the gospel. The persistent spread of fake news, rampant use of social media for abusing women and children with morphed images, the spread of hate speech, instigation of communal violence, videos and photos which can potentially threat the sovereignty and integrity of India, and most importantly, the privacy concern of citizens of India. A regulation is must in such a situation. But the question here is, who should regulate it? The social media giants or the government of India? According to United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, 128 out of 194 countries have put in legislation to protect the data and privacy of the citizen. India is still struggling in this phase. In December 16, 2021, the Joint Parliamentary Committee presented its report on Data Protection Law Bill 2021. So I hope in this case, the slow and steady wins the race. Ignorant and innocent people are unaware of the fact, and they are the biggest victim to data theft. These social media giants specifically know where you're sitting, what you're doing, how much you earn, how much you spend, what do you like to eat, and etc. A previous report of Javelin shows that 40% of people on an average share their personal information online, which can be explicitly misused by these social media giants. Facebook, or now the Meta, published a new guiding policy which monitors the public figures who violate their rules. The President of America, the ex-President of America, Mr. Donald Trump's suspension of Facebook account was one such example to it. Twitter also recently banned several accounts of people. Few days ago, the government of India banned 35 YouTube channels, which could potentially threat the sovereignty and integrity of India. Now the question here is it all enough? In my opinion, the social media giants must self-regulate itself. It should come up with mechanism to tackle these embargoes. But the major hand should that be of the government. Democracy, for the people and by the people. The elected representatives of our country are responsible for the damages happening in our country. So the government must come up with regulations and implement it judiciously. At the end, I would simply like to conclude by saying that bachao upchar se behtar hai, or prevention is better than cure. Let's make this a national-wide important topic and let the concerned authorities implement it judiciously. As they say, wise people learn from their mistake. Let not the history repeat itself. Thank you.
So, Riddhi, it was great. We are proud of you. And I would request Inder ma'am if she can have her inputs for Riddhi's performance.
Good evening, Riddhi. It was a very comprehensive explanation on the topic of data age, and it's really, in few words, you have explained it very nicely with wonderful expressions. Bravo, you have done great job, and keep practicing. You have to achieve more, and hope for the best. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. I think, Rashika, you can try once more. Rashika Agrawal.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, Rashika, you're audible. Please carry on. The dice is yours. You have 5 minutes of time.
I would start my video. Am I visible?
No, you're not visible, but you're audible.
Okay. So shall I start?
Yes, you can start.
Good evening. My name is Rashika and I am a student of class 11. The name of my school is Sri Krishna Public School, and the topic I have chosen is the data age. Should social media behemoths self-regulate, or should the state step in? Violence and hate crimes that took place in Tripura last October had a huge impact. A large part of the violence and hate was caused by the circulation of news on the social media.
So hard luck with Rashika. She has lost the network. So our next participant is Manjari Saxena. So Rashika, you're back. One last opportunity given to Rashika. so it's not possible. Next participant is Manjari Saxena. Manjari, please unmute yourself.
Am I audible and visible?
Yes, Manjari, you're audible and visible both. Please continue.
Okay, let's start. Good morning, hello everyone. Manjari Saxena, student of class 11th from Tagore National School, Jaipur, Rajasthan. And I'm here to put forward my views on the topic, right to privacy versus right to health. A COVID dilemma in the AAROGYA Setu app. Men's house is his castle. The mentioned saying implies about the inherited right to privacy in human being. Every human being has certain confidential and superstitious part of their life, which can't be divulged at a public domain. The right to privacy has gained momentum throughout the world, and it has been recognized as the fundamental right to privacy. The right to health is an inclusive right, extending not only to the timely and appropriate health care, but also to the underlying determinants of health facilities. When looking at the grim state of today can easily be referred as COVID world, a conversation on strong privacy architecture would be absolutely necessary, with being a central element of the technological innovations. However, in these times where neither do we have a winner in the privacy debate, and nor do we had a vaccine for coronavirus. Now we have it, but not in the past time. People had no other option but to tilt towards the better health safety prospects, which possibly compromised with the data privacy regime. However, according to me, the ideal case would be that the government to look at the formation of privacy laws differently, coming out with liberal interpretations with respect to the health of our citizens, instances where the citizens themselves seemingly choose over health over privacy. Let's start from the very starting, the beginning of 2020, witnessing a very contagious pandemic known as COVID-19, which threatened the very existence of the humankind. On March 11, 2020, the WHO declared the COVID-19 pandemic as a global pandemic. This pandemic has a potential to cause irreparable loss to most populous and densely crowded country like India. Our health infrastructure, honestly, is not sufficient enough to sustain the catastrophic situation of the pandemic at the time of peak. So well said, prevention is better than cure. AAROGYA Setu app provides a proactive solution by contact tracing of the infected people of COVID-19, so as to provide timely and proactive interventions. This Bluetooth-enabled mobile application was launched on 2nd day of April 2020. And by 28th of July 2020, there were 14.68 crore Indians who were using AAROGYA Setu app. Till now, I may have spoken in favor of right to health, not because of any bias. It's because and in fact, we all have faced in the havoc of second wave of COVID-19. And I should give some reasons. I will not give just one, I'll give three. So first of all, recently, the Airport Authority of India made it mandatory for passengers to register on AAROGYA Setu to travel, while the draft standard operating procedures, that is the SOPs released by the Civil Aviation Ministry, mandated passengers to download the AAROGYA Setu app, allowing only those passengers to enter the airport who gave a green status. Secondly, download the AAROGYA Setu mobile app to prevent the spread of corona infection, inspire others to download them as well, said by our beloved Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Even amidst all the privacy concerns, the app has been downloaded by 100 million users, and the number of downloads that app managed to receive in a very short period of time, little over a month, since its release, indicates that many people are willing to put an option of choosing health safety over their right to privacy. Or it could be very well be their ignorance on privacy. Third, but not the least, and according to a very law and the Constitution of India, the ground of objection against the Aadhaar card scheme was that the very collection of demographic and biometric data for such scheme was a violative to right to privacy. But the AAROGYA Setu app has been created by central government by exercising its power under the Disaster Management Act of 2005, an existing valid law for managing disasters just like COVID-19. And the state has legitimate aim to manage such disaster, protecting the life and health of the people of India. This law also satisfied the proportionality test regarding the invasion of right to privacy. Therefore, we may conclude that by response data collected from users of the AAROGYA Setu mobile application, there will be no violation of right to privacy, hence proved. So at the end, I would like to say that no one, not even me, the government, is against right to privacy. It is very important. But at present, it's very well understood fact that if he has health, he has hope. And if he has hope, he has everything. Thank you so much.
That was something very nice, Manjari. And we are glad to have you from Jaipur, Rajasthan. Okay,
Thank you.
So I would request Kriti ma'am. Kriti ma'am is one of our judges, and she's a teacher, she's a speaker, she's a lawyer, and she's a thought leadership mentor. She's a podcaster, and she is, of course, the director of Vidhigya. I would request Kriti ma'am to give her inputs on Manjari's speech.
Hi, Manjari. Can you hear me?
Hello, ma'am. Hello, ma'am.
It was lovely listening to you. I liked your confidence. I like the way you portrayed your thoughts. And, one thing we should remember always, while we're giving a public speech or something like that, and if there is some health issue, we should stop by, pause, take a sip of water, and then speak again. Isn't it right? Let's behave naturally, because the more natural we are, the more simpler we are. And your thoughts were well put, very nicely given. And yeah, stay blessed, Pita.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I'm sorry.
No,
I was so tensed. I don't know. It just happens.
No, but then you were very good at it.
Thank you.
And you know what? I'll tell you one thing, Manjari. Every success curve has failures within itself. So every success will always go through a failure. There's no success without a failure. So yes, enjoy that. Whatever faults we make, whatever mistakes we make, they should be enjoyed. And it keeps us improving on the learning curve.
Okay. Okay.
Lovely meeting you, Beta. Lovely meeting you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am, and thank you so much, Manjari. Now our next presenter for the day is Sanat. Sanat, please have your video and audio on.
Yes, ma'am.
Sanat is from DPS Bhopal. And Sanat, please have your video and audio on.
Yes, ma'am. Just a minute. Ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes, Sanat, you're perfectly audible and visible.
Yes, ma'am. Just a minute, ma'am.
Yes, so you have 5 minutes of time. The dice is yours.
Okay. So which is the most used app on your mobile phones? It's probably a social networking app. Even this edifying initiative is being conducted on a social networking platform, that is YouTube. This is just to set the premise that social media is omnipresent, but this is just one side of the coin. I, Sanat, am here mainly to elucidate the other side of the coin, often not talked about side of the coin. On 20th of January 2022, the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting blocked 35 YouTube channels, 2 Twitter accounts, 2 Facebook accounts, and 1 other website, and has further directed to block several other of these websites. They have been, and I quote, operating from Pakistan and spreading anti-India, fake and divisive news and other content. This begs the question that what are the regulations, restrictions, and a system of checks and balances on these social networking sites? In the past, platforms like Twitter and Facebook have been reluctant to censor posts about conspiracy theories and fake news. It may be right from their perspective, but if it be looked through an aerial view, this may prove to be catastrophic and irreversible damage to the nation's sovereignty and integrity. Let's peek into how we even got into this model. Digital platforms can be highly profitable businesses that connect users on the internet, which has been never witnessed before. When they are successful, they generate powerful feedback loops called network effects, and thus monetize them by selling advertisements. They have generated trillions and trillions of dollars in wealth. But they have also enabled distribution of fake news and fake products, manipulation of digital data for political purposes, and promotion of dangerous misinformation in elections, vaccines, and other public health matters. But this doesn't end here. Social media has fueled online hate like anything. Bullying against individuals has seen a new rise. There is one thing to criticize someone's art, even harshly, be it music, blogs, films, anything. But the commoners of this internet can go to any extent, objectifying women, sending rape threats, hate messages, unsolicited pictures, indecent lambasting, just to name a few. The audience here can verify the same by just viewing the comment section of their favorites. This is more than trolling. This can't be defined, and it's a heinous crime that uproots the mental well-being of one, pushing them deep into the oblivion. The more worrying and alarming fact is that the state has actually stepped in, directing platforms like Google, WhatsApp to set up grievance cells to look and monitor such acts. And on paper, reports are being submitted. These platforms are blocking and banning the deletion of such accounts, comments, etc. But the reality is that the cases have not reduced. If not anything, they have increased. Further, there is backing of the state through the IPC, which helps in penalizing their creators. But there is some visible light at the end of this seemingly never-ending tunnel. In recent times, platforms are getting stern and firm. The most famous and the latest one being banning of the ex-president of the United States, Donald Trump, in regards to spreading propaganda for the famous Capitol riots that happened on January 6, 2021, if I'm not wrong. Kangana Ranaut, the famous Bollywood celebrity known for her outbursts at Twitter, has also been banned from the platform. If left to these platforms or companies to self-monitor and restrain themselves, can sometimes devolve into a self-regulatory or a regulatory charade. But that doesn't need to be the case here. Government will inevitably get more engaged in oversight. However, I believe that platforms should be more aggressive at self-regulations now. There should be a careful mix between these platforms and the state stepping in. Thank you.
I would request Shell ma'am, if we can have your inputs. Ma'am, please unmute yourself.
I'm unable to, yeah. Am I audible now?
No,
Yes,
now
please.
ma'am, you're audible.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Sana, it was lovely to hear from you and your views also. But what I suggest, if the suggestions are required, I would say that why don't you use your full 5 minutes to speak? Number one, you could have spoken more and you could have put in more inputs to that. Whenever you are in a competition and the time limit is given, it's not just to curtail yourself. Those 5 minutes, आपके वो जो 5 मिनट है कोई आपसे छीन नहीं सकता. So just to put in more views on that, so that it means your content improves.
Actually, if I may, my time it was coming somewhere near 4.5 minutes, ma'am. So I thought
it was not reaching 5 minutes because I was monitoring the time also.
Never
So
wrong.
and second thing, like when you are on online platform, you don't have to be too much expressive. That actually creates a kind of a blur in the in the video output. So these are some of the technical part when you are speaking online. Like you must have seen those people who are speaking online and all on the videos and all. If you are giving your live elocution, that time you can be.
Sorry,
so I
ma'am, this
felt
was
you
my
were a
first.
little.
Yes.
Pardon?
Ma'am, actually, this was my first or second.
Yeah.
Something
So
like
this is, every day is a learning time.
Of course, ma'am, I
So
agree.
that way. Now again, see, you are moving your head so much that creates a blur. So you must train. see, these are the part where these are the learning things. Like when you are on this, and I must congratulate Vidhigya to give you such a platform to train yourself. Okay, so what you should be doing is just even when you are coming or for the competition, before that you could have practiced yourselves, like how you are appearing online. Are you understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
So whenever you are speaking in such debates and competition is to win. I always believe that it's not just mere presentation, it's to win. So these things you can keep it in your mind, and
Sure,
best
ma'am.
wishes.
Thank
Hope
you,
for the
ma'am.
best.
Thank you so
God
much.
bless you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And thank you so much, Sanat. So our next presenter for the day is Anushka Sinha. Anushka, are you there? Yes, please unmute yourself, Anushka.
Yes, ma'am. Am I clearly visible and audible?
Yes, you're perfectly visible and audible. So Dais
Can I
is
speak?
yours. Please start.
Yes, ma'am. Without privacy, there is no point in being an individual. My name is Anushka Sinha, and today I'll be putting light on right to privacy versus right to health with respect to AAROGYA Setu app. On 2nd April 2020, central government released an app called AAROGYA Setu, and the objective of releasing the app was simple, that was to reduce or prevent the scope of exposure of COVID-19 in India. So when you download this app, it gives you a self-assessment test. During this test, you fill your details and give access of your Bluetooth and location to the app. So how it works is it gives you information about how much are you exposed to COVID-19 as per your surrounding and people who downloaded it. So when two people come in close proximity with each other, or to use the word used by central government, that is Bluetooth proximity with each other, so close that they're Bluetooth pair. So if any one person is tested positive, the app will signal all the devices or the users that came in Bluetooth proximity with him within the 14 days. Now, major concern of this app is with respect to right to privacy. When you enable your Bluetooth and location by giving access to the app, and let me remind you, without access, the app won't work. So when someone has our location access 24/7, it means that that person or government here in this matter is able to track us wherever we go. And there is not just government, but many authorities to which our data will be revealed. And India has a really bad reputation when it comes to securing our data. Because in 2017 and 2018, there were many reports which stated that crores of Aadhaar number were leaked in public domain or to certain IT firms. So another similar app was released in Singapore, and that was called Trace app. But here the access to data was only made accessible to the Health Ministry of Singapore, and nobody else could access the data. But in India's case, privacy policy stated that it will be given to those people who are involved in working for COVID-19, or basically COVID warriors. Another issue was that it didn't release source code, and it was a major controversy. However, central government came up with a press release, and in that, it revealed the source code. So after so much controversy, after 2 months, they actually revealed the source code, and they started a bug bounty program with certain rewards. Bug bounty programs are basically for technical experts, or for our language, they are for hackers who can find bugs in the app and inform the government and help them to improve the app. Another major problem with the app was that app clearly stated that it was built on the principle of privacy. But the privacy policy of the app clearly stated that in case of your data breach, the central government or any form of government will not be responsible for that matter. They basically waived off all their liabilities in case of a data breach. So these were two very contradictory things that happened. However, in 2017, there was a landmark judgment of Supreme Court that was released called as K.S. Puttaswamy versus Union of India. The judgment even talked on the aspect of how right to privacy is to be dealt with health issues. So Supreme Court stated that government can take certain actions like this in case of public health emergency, but with certain safeguards. So Justice D.Y. Chandrachud came up with 3 tests of this. The first point was legality. So AAROGYA Setu was backed with no law or ordinance. The second was the legitimate aim. So it was there in AAROGYA Setu, but was very subjective. The third test was the test of proportionality. So in this, any app should not violate the fundamental rights of citizen. But former Justice of Supreme Court, Justice B.N. Sri Krishna, clearly stated that the app is a blatant violation with fundamental rights of people of India. In these tests, Justice Kaul added the fourth point, that is procedural safeguard. So it means law in no way should be procedurally deformed. But here, the government waived their liability in the case of data breach. So it was clearly visible that procedure or safeguard was not taken into consideration while releasing this app. Moreover, government made it mandatory for certain people to download this app. In Delhi NCR, this app was made compulsory for everyone. So it is an issue again that no, on one side, you are breaching the privacy of somebody, and on the other hand, you are compelling them to download this app. And there were certain petitions filed in high courts, and this was later diluted and was not made compulsory to download the app. But however, many people already downloaded the app. At the end, I would say privacy is not an option, and it should not be the price we accept for just getting on the internet. Thank you.
So well done, Anushka. And I would request Simi ma'am, if she can give her inputs. Anushka, we can have your video on again. And I would request Simi ma'am.
Anushka, well done, Beta. It was lovely listening to you and your points. Your points you have put across in a very clear and a crisp manner. As far as suggestion is concerned, I would just like to say something, since we are doing it on an online platform. And I understand that online platform is a little bit difficult. I'd just like to say one point to you. That is, try to relate to the audience by having an eye contact. So for that, the placement of your mobiles, how your laptop is quite important. So that, because right now when you were speaking, your body, you're looking down and you're speaking, right? As if half the time it felt that you were reading. So I would like to just give a suggestion that in future, whenever you are, trying to speak in an online platform, try to talk to the person, try to relate to the person who is in front. Okay, overall, it was excellent. So all the very best, Anushka.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am, and thank you so much, Anushka. So our next presenter is Pakhi Jain.
Good evening, everybody. I hope I'm audible and visible.
Yes, Pakhi.
Okay. So should I start?
Yes.
Okay.
You have 5 minutes from now.
Criminal behavior is obviously not tolerated in reality, and so it won't be tolerated online as well. So with great power comes great responsibility, as all these social media owners have given us a new world on the web. And they're not doing it enough to safeguard it for an individual. So there is a need of improved governance on this online flora platform. And that is the global issue right now. Good evening, everybody. This is Pakhi Jain from Aspire 22 batch of Vidhigya, and I hail from Ujjain St. Mary's Convent School. So today I'll be sharing my views on the topic, whether social media behemoths should self-regulate or the state should step in. So here I go. Monitoring social media platform is really very necessary because it's just like flowing water, full of conversations and full of content, where the balance of good content is always underweight because of the crime, obscenity, and violence spreading on these platforms. Though the social media owners are also taking steps to prevent it, like by limiting the disinformations, by also taking fact-checking posts, by regulating and labeling the state-run media apps. But for an instance, they are not really consistently doing their rules and enforcing them. For instance, two very big platforms have taken the statement out that they will be upholding and encouraging the public interest accounts. But what most notably they ended up doing was not removing the obscene and very violative comment by one of the famous politicians. But same wouldn't have been the case if it was from the side of an ordinary user. Just because these social media owners don't get incentivized for controlling and regulating the violative and hateful speech, they don't do it because their main aim is to just occupy the users no matter what content they serve. And this ends up with security vulnerabilities on these platforms because there are criminal elements which help on there, like bullying, cheating, and stealing the information of people and suppressing the freedom of speech. That's why we need the antitrust enforcement laws to break the monopoly of all these social media owners. Because what they end up doing is they evade the corporate accountability and comprehensive algorithm and privacy breaches. The legislation needs to ensure that we all are safe and our data is not being used to exploit our own selves. And we have seen it from starting. We've been writing about social media since they first emerged in 1990s. But we know the one thing which never changed about them was they are double-edged swords. If they enhance us from one side, they're also the reason of making privacy breaches and economizing our identities. So knowing one thing that one can be subject to bias is one thing, but to correct it is another. And privacy is dead. The social media is holding a smoking gun, as Petty Cashmore says. That's why we need to make the social media platforms accountable and safe for all the citizens of the country. And in my view, I feel that the government should step in and they should take the full cooperation from the social media owners as and whenever needed. Because when the topic is about public's interest, public's integrity, national security, everything can be done. And this thing is bun on the hour and still in the progress. The need of the hour is definitely that all the uploads and the posts which are there on social media should be regularized. But there should be no inconsistency in making people safe on these platforms. And this is also in the line with the fundamental right of privacy of our country, as stated in K.S. Puttaswamy case. And this can be well taken care by the government. As Catherine Gerald says, when privacy is violated, it is brutalizing. So to conclude, I would want to share with all of you one fact, that we need not to learn how to do social. We need to learn how to be social. Thank you.
It was great listening you, Paki. I would request Shell ma'am if she can share her inputs on Paki's presentation.
Yeah, thank you. I was just wanting to speak because she was very good. And not just that good, I would say that she followed all the basic protocol and how to speak and all those. So Paki, well done. Keep it up. And your content was well defined, well structured and organized. Here and there, you need to just work on your pronunciations. That's it. Otherwise, all the best. Good luck, beta. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I will just like to add one more thing for Paki, which I also liked, is she's expressive.
Yeah,
and correct. That makes, I feel, a lot of difference when one person is speaking. So she was expressive and she was passionate about whatever she was speaking. So sorry to just butt in and speak my point, but then I felt, so I spoke.
Absolutely correct, ma'am. Actually, she was well balanced. She was not too expressive and not less expressive. Well balanced. Yeah, that's the way actually. And other competitors and other children, I would like just follow these things. We are learning each day, so it would be good if all of you also do the same. Good luck, beta. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Simi ma'am. Thank you, Shell ma'am. And thank you, Paki. Next, we can have Vanisha Dubey. Vanisha, are you there? Yes, Vanisha.
Ma'am, am I visible?
You're visible and you're audible too.
Can I start?
Yes, 5 minutes from now.
Total COVID cases in the world till 4:30 p.m. today is 356,354,024, while the total mortality count is 5,625,126, and the total recovered cases are 282,569,077. Similarly, India has 39,799,202 cases, while the deaths have reached to a total of 490,462. Data from official sources available in the public domain. Sadly, in next 5 minutes, when I do our chat, many would have got infected. Good evening to the August gathering. I am Vanisha Dubey, an ex-student of New Oxford Junior College, and I am a senior school graduate. Right to privacy or safeguarding public health, which is more important and which should come at the expense of others? This is one of the biggest questions the world now faces. As the pandemic worsens, many countries have introduced the mandatory contact tracking systems and mobile applications to track and contain the spread of COVID-19. But will these technologies really help end the crisis? What are the consequences does the increase of aliens have? This is the talk of our. Different countries have devised different technologies. China, South Korea, Taiwan have developed applications to track the movement of person detected positive. Look at the irony. Similarly, Israel has allowed its intelligence agencies to use the citizens' data location for the period of 30 days. A similar mobile application, popularly known as AAROGYA Setu, has been effective in monitoring the virus in India since its launch on 2nd April 2020. AAROGYA is a Sanskrit word where a, the prefix or upsarg, means without, and rog, the suffix or visarg, means disease. The word completely means a healthy life without disease and having complete health in mind and body. And when coupled with Setu, it conveys the meaning, the bridge to health. AAROGYA Setu uses contact tracing to record details of all the people you may have come in contact with as you go about your normal activities. If any one of them at a later point in time tests positive for COVID-19, you are immediately informed and the proactive medical intervention is arranged for you. For registration of AAROGYA Setu, the individual needs an Indian mobile number operated in India. Said aarogyasetu.govern.in. Sounds so flawless and exquisite? Then what's the issue? Privacy, a dynamic concept. With a change in time and advanced technology, the concept of privacy has seen severe metamorphic phases. Considering the Indian scenario, the said concept has not been mentioned expressly as a fundamental right. The issue was raised before Honorable Supreme Court in several cases and has been considered in an important case of K.S. Puttaswamy versus Union of India, wherein Aadhaar card scheme was challenged. In this matter, the court agreed the right to privacy is an inherent right of an individual. Coming to the point, while the government initially only encouraged people to install the app, it is now mandatory for public sector workers, people living in contaminant zones, and those wishing to travel by plane, and even some private companies have also obliged their employees to download it. This, in effect, forces people to accept terms and conditions which may violate their right to privacy. There are several major issues with the app's terms and conditions. Firstly, the app allows for the collection of the maximum data possible and its storage in a database accessible for government to use at its pleases. Additionally, the data retention policy, which states the data will be automatically deleted every 30 days. There is no mechanism to audit and verify that the policy is followed. Finally, government accepts no liability for data breaches or inaccurate information provided by the app, even if they lead to harm. These issues create a loophole wherein the fact the bridge is perhaps less to health and more of an unaccountable government to invade or risk the privacy of citizens. But in case where a person was found to be HIV positive and informing his fiancé of the same was not found to be a violation of right to privacy, then in more fiercer situation of pandemic, Why not public health above privacy? The whole problem about this pandemic is about transmission, the spread of virus. The application is actually tracing and you know the exact location of transmission trajectory of the virus. And this is why I think smartphone applications like this can be of particular use. Using such applications, suspected and confirmed cases can be on radar of relevant authorities about their possibility and potentiality of contagion. I would like to end with a Sanskrit shlok which says, good health is a privilege. Vyayamat labhate, swasthya dirghayusham, balam sukham, arogyam param bhagyam, swasthyam sarvo sadhanam. Thank you and a very happy Republic Day.
That was something good, Vanisha, and you have proved that something which you are taught, that only work works and no excuses are there to justify not to work. So we are proud of you that you are still there today, that you're presenting. I would request Indar ma'am if she can put in her inputs for Vanisha's presentation.
Yes, lovely. Vanisha, it was stimulating on your end. And I was really feeling very happy that you people have got this platform. And Vidhigya is doing great job. And this is, online elocution is an alternative approach. Because it's not possible offline, and so we have enhanced our skill. And when you began with data, lots of data, it made me very alert, like, what are you going to talk about? So your speech started with data that was quite stimulating. So keep practicing. Just a bit of like work is to be done on the pronunciation part, and connection of the thoughts is again required. Otherwise it was good. So all the best for future speeches, and take note of this.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good, Vanisha, very good.
So thank you so much,
Thank
ma'am,
you.
and thank you so much, Vanisha. So our next presenter for the day is Harshvardhan Yadav. Harshvardhan, if we can have your video and audio on, Harshvardhan Yadav. Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Harshvardhan, you are visible.
Yes, ma'am. May I start?
Yes, you have 5 minutes from now, Harshvardhan.
Okay, ma'am. Good evening, everyone. I, Harshvardhan Yadav, is here to share my views on should government intervene to regulate these social media giants, or should they self-regulate themselves? In this context, I would like to present some data in front of you. WhatsApp has about 400 million users, 300 million users of Facebook, and about 250 million users of YouTube. And these numbers are increasing day by day, with more and more people getting online. With such a large market share, these significant data fiduciaries have obligation to abide law of land. But in recent time, we have seen that some data fiduciaries have reacted in such a way that they are telling like they are defying the rule of law and the land in which they are operating. We all are aware of Twitter and Government of India and the tussle going on between them in the recent past time, aren't we? These platforms have been designed in a way to keep users interacted, engaged, and logged in as long as possible. After all, their sole motive is to earn lot of profit, getting larger and larger market capitalization, and earning a lot of money. Hence, it is difficult for us to expect from them that they will self-regulate themselves. So I think government should definitely intervene and bring some regulations for these social media behemoths. We have seen in case where Facebook whistleblower Frances Hogan have been accusing her employer for giving more interest in earning money than keeping values of public safety. Recently, Wall Street Journal have published a study in which Instagram is adversely impacting mental health of teens. So, don't you think these social media giants are getting unruly horse? And can we afford these things to happen. So this is the best time that government should do something to regulate these chants. Nevertheless, government policies, actions, and they are having economical and political force to regulate these chants. Even government has potential to create lasting changes since they are politically elected by people. So the government must regulate social media, but not in a way that it extend to like social medias are afraid of getting into Indian market. They should not leave Indian market, but government should bring such guidelines to keep a watch on what they are publishing, what information they are giving, and how they are ruling over the market of India. So it is right time to bring some new laws and bring changes in the regulation in which social media is governed nowadays. In this digital age where data is everything and we can do anything on click of buttons, it is important for us to have a solid regulatory framework for social media giants. So, with democracy at stake, how social media giants and regulators act today will determine the future of public discourse. There is no easy answer to this question, but recent events have shown that one way or another, the status quo can't be persisted. Thank you. Happy Republic Day.
Happy Republic Day, Harshvardhan. I would request Priti ma'am to present her views for Harshvardhan.
Hello, Harshvardhan. Your research was good, but a little bit of presentation could have been better. The presentation and the pronunciation both were lacking, but research was good, content was good, creativity was also there. But since you highlighted that we should have certain framework or laws, you could have highlighted more what kind of law would you would want to suggest to people, or what kind of laws, because you've been saying and reiterating that we should make some framework and some laws on it. So you could have highlighted a bit more on that. Rest was good. Presentation needs to be worked on. Thoughts were good, clear, cogent, and all the best to you, Harshvardhan.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, and thank you, Harshvardhan. Next we can have Anshika Avasthi. Anshika, if you can have your video and audio on. Yes, Anshika. Anshika, you're visible.
Hello, am I audible?
You're audible too. The dice is yours for next 5 minutes. All the best.
Good laws are the offsprings of bad actions. Jai Hind. A very hearty evening to one and all present here. Today, I, Anshika Avasthi, feels privileged to be provided an opportunity to speak on the topic. Should social media be self-regulate, or should the state step in? Social media, the so-called god of the 21st century, with people considering Instagram as their religion and Netflix as a place of worship. And without Google, everybody feels like a body without soul. But the question remains, is social media really the soul, or in some manner itself is destroying and damaging the original soul? From providing abundance of advantages, the injury caused by social media is also twofold. It has reduced the capacity of human brains to an extent that is immeasurable. We have started believing on anything that is presented before us. We are now in such a data age where people with obscene view of society are influencers, and people talking about religious text, scriptures, and articles are illiterates. We now tend to believe more on WhatsApp forwarded fake messages than our very sacred and divine text. But today, I have a question for each and every one of us present here. We are made to believe that Aryabhatta invented zero in 496 AD. But I have a question for everybody of you. In Ramayana, Ravan had 10 heads. In Mahabharata, Gandhari had 100 children, and Srimad Bhagavad Gita contains 700 shlokas. Where did the zero come from? Obviously, they are far before the age of Aryabhatta. Now, if we come on to the second fold, the criminals. The criminals have been the greatest beneficiary of the COVID-19 pandemic. The number of cases of cybercrime Hacking, trolling have seen a never like before upsurge. But now the question arises that can these outrageous and terrible monsters of social media be controlled? From kids to women's, everybody is on the radar of these uncanny criminals. Nowadays, from posting an outrageous comment to meddling young girls in the vicarious circle of online pornography and abuse is far more easier than buying a loaf of bread from the nearby store. So, is there even any possible measure available, or will it continue like an infinite loop? And even if you are flunked this loop by any chance, you are dwelling in a market where either you are the customer or the product for others. So, is it? Or there exists a ray of hope? Well, yes, there stands a ray of hope. The state or the government, because we are standing on the tip of that ocean from where effective and straight laws is the only boat available. It's high time that the state, out of its politics of religion, castes, and votes, should come out and arise and provide the most victimized strata of the society some sigh of relief. State intervention is the only solution available, and criminals should be convicted with strict punishment in order to set criteria for a happy and prosperous environment. So now the state ought to step in and make cybercrimes law strict. After all, that's the only reason why we have elected ministers and leaders, and not just for the sake of making petroleum expensive and pockets lighter. It's high time that the state should realize their duty and responsibility. And we as a citizen should understand that right to protest is just to avoid exploitation and not make agendas out of it. After all, good laws and cooperative individual approach is the only way available to progress on the road of safety and reach the ultimate destination of justice. Thank you everyone. Jai Hind.
It was nice hearing your opinions, Anshika. I would request Simi ma'am if she can have her opinion, her input. I think there's some problem at Simi ma'am's end. Shell ma'am, if we can have your inputs.
Yeah, sure. Even I would like to hear what Simi ma'am wants to say, but yeah, meanwhile I can. Anshika, well said and well spoken, and your research work was good. You had good means prepared the content very well. The only thing is, how do you say Jai Hind? Because Jai Hind was like that. So remember this, okay? Because it's Jai Hind, you know. And I'm very particular about these things, Jai Hind and all such kind of words. So it has to be Jai Hind. Not like that, Jai Hind. It's bye. Okay? Just little things, because you are kids and you need proper guidance also. And that's why I'm telling you. But yes, well spoken and well expressed. God bless you, better.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Simi ma'am, are you there?
One more thing, Khushbu.
Yes.
Anshika, I would like to ask you, did you use the word vicarious? Because I heard it wrongly. Did you use the word vicarious? No?
Unmute yourself, Anshika.
Yes, ma'am.
So how did you pronounce it?
I said it vicarious.
You said vicarious. Okay, yes. That's why I'm checking you. Okay?
Oh, okay.
So just to check from the pronunciation dictionaries, because these are some important things. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, Simi ma'am. There was some problem at your end, I think.
Yeah. Just rejoin. Hope to be there, to be able to be there. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. So next we can have Diksha Jain. Diksha, you can open your video and you can unmute yourself.
Ma'am, am I audible?
You're audible, but you're not visible, Diksha, presently. Now you're visible, Diksha. Yes, okay. Diksha. So for next 5 minutes, it's all yours.
Okay, all the best. Thank you. First of all, today I would like to wish you all of you a happy Republic Day, as India has completed 72 years since Constitution of India came into effect on this very day in 1950. You can't have more clicks on fake news than the real ones. That's allowing public deception to go unchecked. Greetings to one and all present here. I am Diksha Jain, and today I'll be talking about the data age for social media behemoth, self-regulate or should the state step in? The 21st century society thrives on the social media platforms, which have become key institutions in the digital sphere today. The increasing violent protests, the rampant spread of misinformation regarding pandemic and increased number of cybercrimes all throw light on the fact that status quo no longer works. With the introduction of internet, many social media platforms have also emerged, be it for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and many more. With these platforms also comes the pros and cons of the same. We have seen and experienced the power of social media, a platform which was a survival pill throughout the COVID lockdown. It helps an individual to express themselves and connect with the world. It is like a dream come true for some people who become famous just from one picture posted or a reel or even a cover of a song. These platforms have made life of some people and destroyed lives of others. People tend to sometimes forget the thin line which makes free speech and expression harmful. Social media often publishes misinformation regarding hoaxes, fabricated reports, and conspiracy theories, as well as hurtful comments and extremist ideas. Today, every user has access to the powers of social media, but not every one of them is responsible with the powers of social media, but not every one of them is responsible. With the increased use of social media, malicious and irresponsible people misuse their freedom. It is now possible to dent someone's hard-earned reputation with a single click of a button. As the social media emerges as the overpowering network, it has become imperative to set out regulations for the same. Most of the social media platforms have employed regulations individually. The regulations include barring content that is sexually explicit, glorifies violence, contains large hate speech, etc. The regulation followed by these platforms are made to favor them. Many times, these regulations are not taken seriously. It is a must that these platforms should be legally bound to these regulations. Thus, there must be government involvement in the regulations. The Indian government too has taken steps towards regulating social media platforms after an awakening from the Twitter incident, where Twitter ignored orders to remove content over farmers' protests. The Indian government has released the Information Technology, Intermediary Guidelines and Ethics Code Rules 2021 with an aim to regularize social media platforms, digital media, and OTT platforms. Furthermore, the outlines for such regulations should be provided in a legal code in order to ensure that government cannot take unfair advantages of the regulation. As said by Mark Zuckerberg, the real question as the internet becomes more important in people's life is what is right regulation, not whether there should be regulations or not. Thank you and have a nice day ahead.
Okay, so I would request Simi ma'am, if you are there.
Yeah, thank you, Khushbu, and Diksha, a very good evening once again to you. You spoke well, your content was quite clear, but only one thing I would like to say is that you need to work on your voice modulation. You know, so your whole presentation, there should have been a little bit more energy, and just pay attention to the voice modulation, and I think you will become better. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, and thank you, Diksha. Next, we'll have Tanvi Verma. Tanvi is from Sihor, and Tanvi, if we can have your video on. Yes, Tanvi, you're visible. Please unmute yourself.
Okay, ma'am. Am I audible and visible?
Yes, Tanvi, you're perfectly audible and visible as well. Please start 5 minutes from now.
Okay, ma'am. A very warm good evening to all of you and a happy Republic Day. Well, this is Tanvi here, and I'm from 11th standard of Sentence Senior Secondary School, Siho. And first of all, I just want to thanks to the Vidhigya to gives an opportunity to us to express our views. And then the topic, let's come to the topic. And the topic I have taken is, should social media be self-regulated or the government should step in it? So I must agree that the social media should be self-regulated, but the government should be regulated. That what I just don't understand. The government should not in any way to regulate the content and the conversation on social media, but there should be some self-regulation by the platform itself. Because what I think is the society the society and the social media platform are wise enough that what is good and what is bad for them. They can filter out that. What I think that they should know to what to post according to them and what to see on the social media. The government should not do any social media regulation. That must be done collective experience over many industries has shown that government regulation stifle innovation and create monopolies. The high cost of complying with regulation inhibits competition since it discourages of startups from entering a market. It also disproportionately harms existing smaller players. For a country that desperately needs more innovation, investment, social media regulation will trigger exist and discourage more investment and new investment. Yet another reason for the government to not regulate is that it will trigger overreaction. Large social media platforms will be happy to comply to avoid liability. However, and what I can say that, however, an over-enthusiastic compliance can severely limit freedom of expression and suppose dissent or disapproved speech, hated speech, bitter words, which in turn may lead to more unimaginable harm to democratic policy than the worst case scenario government printed in its Supreme Court filing. We all need information. Okay, we all are here. We just want to know what is happening around us. We all need information, and that is why people are depending on citizen journalism, and that is happening by social media itself. People have right to say what they are. People have right to express their views and they can express their views by social media itself. Even we are using social media. If a particular student even have any question, they will just go to Google and will search it. After all, if I talk about Facebook and Twitter, people express their views there. So what I think that the government should not regulate it. It will left over to the social media platforms itself. If government will regulate it, it will just definitely regulate the content. That should be about the government, which is true. As we have said, listen, that truth is bitter. So the bitter words will be there for government itself, for the pupil itself, but the true words are always true. So honestly, I think that government should not regulate the social media platform. And that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Tanvi. I will request Inder ma'am if she can if she can give her input for Tanvi's presentation.
It was a great job by Tanvi, but I would like to comment on her speech. Like, she needs to develop her language proficiency first and foremost, and thoughts were there. And the way she concluded, it is just like straightforward that government should not like, but it has to be like, strategically, and it has to be concluded very in convincing way. Connection of thoughts to be worked upon. Otherwise, good. Next time, I think she'll perform better. So overall, I think whatever I have commented, other judges can also give their opinion. I would request Shal ma'am to give her opinion, because I think being a language teacher, she can judge each participant in the perfect manner, and the perfect judgment can be given from her end. So I request Shal ma'am also to just comment upon my whatever I have said is correct or not. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, Indrapal. Actually, you were absolutely correct. Even I was thinking about the same. Like Tanvi, she is actually she's quite small in age, so she must have not got much exposure, right, Tanvi? Am I right? So the what the ma'am said is absolutely correct. You follow that, and plus even I do agree with your thoughts that social media, they have their own morality. They should be means they should believe in themselves and take such as steps. They must self-regulate because they have an onus towards the society. If they can earn from the society, they should even regulate themselves so that obscenity or some other kind of untoward things do not happen. So I agree with your thoughts, but yes, it has to be a formal, because elocutions, they are very formal activities. So just be a little bit formal, and that's it. And whatever ma'am said, it's absolutely correct. Please follow that. Thank you.
Thank you, Tanvi. Thank you, Shell ma'am. Thank you, Inda ma'am. Next we have our presenter, Kratika Sisodia. Kratika, are you there? Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, you are visible and audible. So the
Yes.
dais is yours for next 5 minutes. All the best.
Okay. So a very good evening to all the mentors. This is Kratika Sisodia. Wish you all a very happy 73rd Republic Day. I would like to express my opinion on the topic, should social media behemoth self-regulate or the state must step in? In my opinion, both of them plays a major role because we all know the pros and cons of social media. Last year, in the year 2021, IP rules were passed regarding that deals with the issue of spreading fake news. And we also know that how cyberbullying is very dangerous. But here in India, the problem is we don't have any specific law and order for cyberbullying. India registered more than 50,000 cases of cyber crimes in the year 2020. But the sad case is we don't have any specific law. The laws come like a passing cloud. The law come and they passes as a passing cloud, which doesn't work. Recently, we had seen a youth who's the creator of Bully Bhai Act case that that targets Muslim women, and to prevent derogatory remarks against women, the state must intervene. And also, I would like to say that self-regulation is the ability to monitor oneself interactions on social media, but this isn't enough. Self-regulation is not enough. And we have to look in these serious issues. We cannot ignore them because they are the obstacle for the people who are not misusing social media. We all know if social media can bring you to the limelight, it can also defame you. If the criminal behavior is obviously not tolerated, it must not be tolerated online also. The state must make a task force which involves bureaucrats and tech sector representatives to look into these serious issues. And self-regulations and government's intervention both are necessary. And also, this self-regulation must be fruitful only when we are restricted to some particular law and order. And I would like to say that we misuse social media like anything today. We cannot live without social media. If we want to entertain ourselves, we go for social media. So, in my opinion, being a youth, I would suggest that please stop misusing social media. It is a platform to represent yourself, not to defame yourself or not to spoil your image in front of anyone. If the criminals are not restricted or they are not put, if they are not being punished for such serious cases, then the unethical activities on social media will be continued. So we have to, the government have to take immediate action on that. Thus, rules must be strict enough to be repeated again. And also, immediate action must be taken by the state. And we are living in the 21st century where women are protected, but they are not as much protected as they should be. So please, I would like to say that women must be protected when it comes to social media and apps like Bully Bhai. They target Muslim women without seeking their prior permission. They uploaded their photos Muslim women's journalists and activists, their photos were uploaded on that, which they were auctioned virtually. This is not tolerable, and this must not be tolerated. So these were my opinion on this topic. Thank you.
So it was nice, Kritika, listening to you, your opinions. I would request Kriti ma'am if she can have her inputs on your presentation.
Kritika, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Kritika, however, I would suggest that there was less of research done from your end and you were retreating the same points again and again. Your presentation was good, body language was good, and the way you said was also good, but there could have been more work done on the research part.
Yes, ma'am.
So that is where I felt it was lacking. Energy was okay, but research could have been better.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, all the best, Kritika.
Thank you, Kriti ma'am, and thank you, Kritika. So this was the last performance of the day, and I would request all the judges, Shell ma'am, Inder ma'am, Kriti ma'am, and Kala ma'am, if all the judges, if they want to put in their inputs for the overall presentation of all the students, and if they want to say something. I would start with Simi ma'am.
I think, Khushbu, we should start with Kala ma'am since we have not heard her. I think, let's have her first and then we all can be there behind her.
Kala ma'am will have some tech issues. She's at a place where network is not proper.
Okay,
so she would like to just keep us on comments. And she's there, she's watching it, but she'll be keeping us on comments.
Okay. So first of all, I'll just say it is today evening, it is time well spent listening to the thoughts, the opinion of these young orators. So all of you, spoke quite well. And I do hope all the jury members also, the judges also, they kept on giving you their opinion and their thoughts where you can improve. On the whole, it was an excellent program. It's quite challenging to have an online competition. It's not easy, I know it, because we do keep on conducting such things. But, I still feel a very good effort has been made from all of you. And best of luck to Vidhigya. I would also like to thank them for, organizing such kind of competitions, which, helps these youngsters to come forth with their views. So thank you. And I would like to say hello to all the other jury members also. I have not been able to, relate to them as such. Shal ma'am and Inderpal ma'am, Kriti ma'am, and Khushbu, thank you so much. You have been the spine of the whole program, and very well done, Khushbu, to you too.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for being there and thank you for giving your time. Ma'am, there's one student, Rashika Agrawal. Because of network issues, she was not able to present her presentation. So she's asking for one last chance. So let's give her one last chance. You'll be given 3 minutes of time, Rashika, to present yourself. And if you can unmute yourself, last time we'll give you a chance to present. Rashika, are you there? Yes.
Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible. Please say something.
Yeah, hello. Yeah, am I visible and audible?
Yes, you're visible and audible both, Rashika.
Thank you so much.
Yourself and start.
Okay, so my name is Rashika and I am a student of class 11 and I'm studying in Sri Krishna Public School. The topic I have chosen is, should social media behemoths regulate itself or should the state step in? The violence and the hate crime caused in the Tripura incident that was caused in last October had a huge impact on Larger part of the hate and the violence caused in the incident was due to the news that circulated on social media, but it was confirmed as fake by the police. The news was about vandalizing and burning of mosques. The Home Ministry also said that there wasn't any damage to any of the mosques. 128 social media accounts were identified of spreading fake news using fake photographs, fake videos, and misleading content. Although action has been taken against them, but the violence cannot be undone. Similarly, rumors spread through the social media have also caused many communal violence outbreaks like the Muzaffarnagar riots in 2013, the Dadri mob lynching in 2015, and the Bhadauria riots in 2018. The government had
Rashika, you're not audible. Okay, Rashika, so you will be given points on your this presentation. Since you're not audible, this was your last chance. So I would request now Shell ma'am to please give her concluding remarks.
Thank you, Khushbu, for the opportunity. Rashika, sad. I was very much interested to listen what you were saying, but it's competition, so better luck next time. Yeah, I would like to congratulate Vidhigya for organizing such a beautiful competition. And I must say the topics were well chosen. They were contemporary and very thoughtful, on which one can really contemplate on. And even I was, while the children were speaking, my mind was also working. Like, what do I think about these? So as far as topics are concerned, like, I would suggest, if you want the suggestions, then all the children, I would like to suggest you that what I felt was you have taken everything from the Google. That is, you just took the material from there. Yes, I agree. Content you can take, but you need to express the content in your own way. Most of you were reading as such. So that should be avoided. Like whatever you speak, understand the content, what is given on the Google or from wherever site you have taken the material, analyze it, express, include your views on it, and then you present. So you know what happens then, it sounds very natural also. It also gives, like, we are sitting here to know and hear the voice of youth. See, the title is Voice Your Opinion. But sadly to say that I was just searching for this. Where are the students' opinion, like the youth? I was looking forward what the youth comes out. What is your opinion regarding the self-regulation, or it should be like the government should interfere, or is it AAROGYA Setu in means hindering the privacy of a person, or no? So you know, whatever I read on the Google, the same thing you were speaking. Best way to prepare a good level of competition and elocution is that, because everybody has an access to the Google. So here and there, your points and all, they were quite similar. Okay, so to stand out in a competition like that, if it just happened to be, I think so, one of the boy, I told the same thing, like there is a difference between presenting and being in a competition. So do remember these things. Like right now I'm presenting myself. Okay, but had it been a competition, definitely my preparation would be different. My presentation would be different. Here you're getting the marks on matter, you're getting the marks on presentation, you're getting the marks on creativity. Now, where creativity comes in elocution, like how you create your views, how logically you put your views. Okay, so there we will see your creativity, right? Like how creative you were. There was one girl, she actually used good expression, but sadly to say, there also she was a little bit dramatic. So elocution is different from drama. You will say that I'm known to be a very bad critic, but my aim is not to criticize. My aim is just to improve the students whom I hear. The best thing is that at least you all came on the platform, at least you presented yourselves, and we got a chance to see you and know you. It was very good to know each one of you, and well done, children. Keep it up. Just keep these points which Simi ma'am and Kriti ma'am as well as Indrapal ma'am has expressed. And Khushbu, congratulations to you. You do an awesome job for Vidhigya. Keep doing that. And just to see how Khushbu is speaking and how she is organizing this thing. Like she's just to see how she is presenting herself, her view, her light on her face, on everything. तो आप इन सब चीजों से भी बेटा सीख सकते हैं, all of you. Okay, so good luck. And may the best one win. We have given Khushbu, do we mail our results to you or
Yes,
WhatsApp?
You can mail me, ma'am, and we'll announce the results tomorrow.
Okay. That would be good.
Thank you so much,
And
ma'am,
Simi
for
ma'am,
this.
nice to see you after a long time. So prayers from my side to all of you, and good luck. Thank you so much, all of you. Bye-bye. Take care.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And your inputs were really great. And I also have the same opinion. It was to have your opinion and not about reading what is written on the Google. I would request Inder ma'am if she can have.
This is what actually I think so. We could have told we could have told them earlier about this so that children would have prepared, because basically what I see in most of the competitions, the children they just prepare it, they download the material and then they speak what is other person's opinion. They don't come up with their own opinions. So this is one area where we need to work upon our kids. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Inder ma'am, if you can have your concluding remarks.
Of course, I would love to. In continuation with Shal Didi's concluding remark, I would like to mention that children, if you are using the content from Google or any source, you must do the proper referencing. You must mention from where you have collected the material to speak. And also, this is the learning time, and see, there is a success of when we are being criticized. So just take this criticism as a positive. It's a kind of critical thinking that we are involved in, and we really want you to improve because you are on such a beautiful platform, Vidhigya. And Khushbu, I would like to congratulate you and my sincere appreciations to this evening, and you made our day even, and it was a real Republic Day for all of us. And thank you so much. God bless you all.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I would request Kriti ma'am to have her concluding remarks.
First of all, thank you, all the jury members. You've been so kind and you've been so nice to each one of them, pinpointing what and where is lacking. So thank you, Shail ma'am. Thank you, Inder ma'am. Thank you, all the participants as well. So let's come to the point that what is actually required in this era. When I talk about communication, there are three important C's of communication when we communicate. First of all is the definitely clarity, whether you had clarity while you were speaking. Second is the connection. Can you make the connection between all the, since I understand it's an online platform, making connection is difficult, but that's what we have learned in this pandemic. So we have to make a good connection with whom we are speaking. Sometimes we are rushing and sometimes we are very slow. So that connection gets lost somewhere. And the third part is creativity, which I felt could have been better through all the participants. So the 3 C's which I focus on would have been like this. And believe me, these little things have outsized consequences. So if you could have focused on these small things, it could have a major change in the results, right? So any which ways, you have learned a lot. We have learned a lot as well from all the judges. I have learned a lot, and particularly from all the students, even I am a learner. So unless, we learn, we don't grow. So it's always better to keep learning. Life is full of learning. Another one thing that I would like to suggest was, as ma'am had earlier said, that kabhi whatever we speak, we should own it. Sometimes you're just reading it out. So we could make it out that you're reading it out without even understanding what you're speaking. So once you're speaking, you should own what you're speaking, and hence come out from you, which looks more natural. And, you communicate it in a much better way than just reading it out. So that could have been better. Plus, if you want to succeed in your life, this is the last mantra that I would like to give you. If you want to succeed in your life, just do these two things. If you want to be super successful, just do these two things. Have a kind of an approach which is more flexible. If someone is telling you that these are the changes that you could have made in your presentation, or maybe while you're speaking, have a very flexible approach. For successful people, these two things are required. First, flexibility, and second, self-accountability. So these two things are foremost for growing and for proper communication, for successful things, doing successful things in your life. I could have given remarks to each of the children, but I think that would make it much longer. And it's better that I give remarks to each children in the result sheet, and that could have been communicated to them. That would be better. And I thank you all the jury members from my heart, that you've been so polite and so humble while explaining things to them, that sometimes they should just understand that whatever you have said is for their betterment. As I said, it has to be a flexible approach if you want to grow in your life. So take that flexible approach. Some people, I've heard some students, like I think she was Anushka, and Manjari, I think they outperformed. They were humble. Somewhere, some members, some participants, I felt they were not humble while speaking. So while you're speaking, it should just be very humble. All successful people are humble. So try to incorporate that in your lifestyle, and you'll be successful. Thank you so much, Khushbu. And thank you so much, Shail ma'am, Inder ma'am. It was wonderful having you here, so that I could connect with you people, could see your smiles. And Simi ma'am, of course, I think she's not there, but thank you so much, ma'am. And thank you so much, Kala ma'am. Wish all the participants all the luck. Keep improving and keep doing good things in life.
So thank you so much, Kriti ma'am. And with this, we have come to the end of the event, and wish you all again a very happy Republic Day. Keep growing, keep yourself, as Kriti ma'am said, keep yourself flexible. To grow, you have to be flexible. So all the very best, and happy Republic Day. Thank you.
Do the same.